Trying to get everybody on YouTube logged in here. We are starting our live stream. Just give me one moment and we will get started. Okay, welcome YouTube. You are all live. Welcome, welcome, welcome Zoom. Hello, friends. How are you? Let me get everybody logged in here. Welcome, welcome. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna get everybody set in here and then we will get started. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. I am having a delay because I have this on and I'm going to take off. So you guys let me know if I don't know why this computer does not like me on Zoom, but I think it'll catch back up. So welcome, welcome. Let's see, let me get everybody started here. The chat is open for those of you in Zoom. So if you have questions as we go, um, remember you can keep filling them in as we go, and then I will check them as we get to the end of Q&A. So welcome, welcome. Tonight is a good call. I don't know why I'm shaking, but that's okay. It'll reset as we get there. So just hang on with me and it'll reset. It usually does. All right. Let's get started. All right. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Daune Thompson. Thank you all for being here. Remember that you are all perfect, and thank you so much for being here. Newbies who are first timers, have been doing this for years, right? And those of you who have been with me for years, I appreciate it. Remember that you are perfect exactly where you are right now. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are absolute perfection, and we have to start learning how to see that within. I love you all very much. Remember that Truth Tribe is to illuminate your personal self-awareness of your health, of your wealth, and of your love. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you once you see that. You don't need an astrology chart for Truth Tribe, but it sure helps for self-awareness during the planetary update. So if you don't know how to do that and you want to learn the basics, how to read your chart, just cruise on over to the I Deserve It membership at ideserveitnow.com. It's right there, and you can sign up. You can get all of my classes, all my calls, all the access to everything. Okay. So let's start tonight. All right. So tonight the topic is freedom from negative emotions. And I'm just going to start with how many of you, this is just because it's been on my mind a lot lately. Okay. How many of you love suffering and feeling helpless to find you like I gotta find a secret serum, a meditation, a magic pill, a secret yoga pose to open up living your best life. Like that's how it feels lately, right? Like how do we live our best life when nothing works? At least it sure feels that way. And it feels that way to me. Do you all want to know the answer? It's so simple. Your freedom is etched in your emotions, and we avoid them. I have talked about this for years on Truth Tribe. Okay, we are in the biggest emotional and spiritual poverty that we have ever been in history. And so when you're so emotionally depleted, it's hard to understand that that's the source of solution to getting free. So your freedom is etched in that emotion. Releasing emotional blocks is simple, my friends, and I'm going to show you how tonight, but it's not easy. Because what happens is feelings, your feelings in your life is dictated because the feelings typically that we're running from are in the back of our head. They're controlling. These feelings back here are ego and they're controlling you. Feelings in the front of your mind are freedom. Controlling, freedom. This is science. This is neuroscience. It's not spiritual. But I will, understanding this concept of getting it clear up here is going to elevate your soul to alignment with your dreams, with those freedom dreams. And so last week we discussed heaven on earth. And that occurs always when you align with your soul. Okay? Easier said than done, right? But when we align to higher frequencies of all things that feel centered and light, right here, things just flow in. That's what the law of attraction is, because you're attracting you. This all happens by facing the self, understanding the emotions that are rooted, they're the root of everything that you desire, as well as everything that you fear. Okay. So in some areas of your life, some of the program beliefs that you learned, right, made a lot of those beliefs made things come naturally to you, easy to you. There's parts of your chart that are just natural, like air breathing, right? I learned from my parents responsibility, never saying I can't, so I never gave up. Well, that's kind of my personality anyway, so I probably picked them to show me that. Now, in other categories of your life, you keep bumbling and falling down and repeating cyclical loops that are asking you to choose to be free from the emotion that is rooted in misalignment with who you are. This is your growth point, my friends. That is your freedom point, and that is easy to release. You just need to know where to look and what to do with it once you know, once you see it, right? Right here. The big question to ask yourself is if you're ready, right? Or are you in resistance to those dreams? Are you in resistance to releasing emotions that are holding you back? Because you are not fated to a failed, miserable, suffering relationships in one or all of the relationships, which are the 12 categories of your life, right? If you can create the suffering, my friends, you can create the heaven. And so it's simply becoming aware of the emotional suffering that is suppressed and repressed in the subconscious to let it go. And it's literally that basic. By reviewing the relationships that you have in your life, and it's not just with love, okay? It's with yourself, your relationship with your communication, your relationship with your home, with your career, with your beliefs, with your family, your relationship with your health. Right? Can you see, are you willing to see, are you open to see, right? Deep rooted seeds, like a little seed that was planted that do not align with your heaven on earth. These are emotions, these not experiences, and they are not people. But they look like it on the outside, right? Because we're working always from the outside in, telling us how to be, and that's not in alignment with who you are. The people just expose the embedded emotions. The reflection, the mirrors out there are always mirroring the frequency you're at. Your evolution is etched in your emotions. Releasing is freeing instead of continued feeling like you're in friction all the time. Okay? So I'm not going to try to convince you that emotions are your freedom or your frozen relationships. I'm going to show you tonight, because clarity clears all unwanted with alignment to your truth soul, right? The truth of your soul. And misalignment is conflict. Someone has to repeat that. Again, clarity clears unwanted with alignment. When you're in alignment, it clears the unwanted. If you have clarity with who you are and what you want, all the unwanted will go away because it's out of alignment with your true soul. Your soul knows what it wants. And misalignment is conflict. It's judgment, war, all the things that you see outside of yourself, despair, rejection, anger, fear, shame, etc., guilt, right? Most of it all stems from fear, right? With a list of others that are layering it. And your personal birth chart reveals these emotional roots of your reality. It's an emotional map on paper. You can see the high-low you play in each of those. I discuss this in the in the DMT method. That's also in the I Deserve It membership. Right? But a map of unhealthy love is totally learned and unhealthy love alignment, right? So there's this map of all the unhealthy love that you learn. You're like, oh my gosh, I totally learned unhealthy in family at home and in career and money, right? But you also have these high frequencies in your chart showing you emotions that are wanting to express themselves out of healthy love and alignment with who you are. So I'm going to give you a little personal so you can understand how I came about all this. I love to look at patterns in life and people. And of course, you don't look at yourself. So everything I'm teaching you, I'm trying to tell you, don't be Dawn. Don't go out there and look in here, right? And I had so many health issues all my life that kept reoccurring and getting more destructive, more painful, more dismantling. Stomach issues, teeth issues, migraines, digestive, terrible digestion, skin rashes, allergies that came and went, asthma, things that I was told weren't curable. Okay, that's not fixable. Oh, someone says shoulder, my shoulder. Oh, that's bursitis. It's just going to be there. You can't get rid of it. Gone. So, and it wasn't until I stepped into the center of my birth chart, now understanding it through the courses I teach and everything else, but I stood in the center as well. I do everything I teach. And I stepped into awareness of all 12 categories of my life and the emotions that were rooted into each of those categories. Yes, do the typical hotspot boulders cause extra havoc if you don't attend to them? Of course, because they're often rooted in mother-father wounds and karma and childhood pain. Absolutely. But when I went through the entire reality check, okay, but I looked for emotions, right? It was less about the labels, less about the experience, the category, the people, the experiences I was having. It was less about those labels as I started to wake up to the root of suffering was sitting at the emotional frequency that I held on to in that category. And it was my own personality. And I was avoiding admitting feeling it. Because how embarrassing, right? Like I do this for a living. How embarrassing to feel unworthy, unwanted, abandoned, self-hatred. That was there for a long time. But we all have it. It's all the underbelly, the undercurrent. And because we've all come in with perfection, because you're all perfect, I can see it in every single chart I look at. You're perfect. But there's a positive feeling in the categories we're struggling that's waiting for you to embrace that. But you can't embrace it if we don't know what feelings and emotions are holding us back. Let me emphasize emotions, right? So, but the emotional seed, remember, is planted by someone else growing up, parental, adult, just influential figures. And they were exactly aligned. The figures, the parents that I chose, the family members, the experiences were exactly aligned with my soul's growing lessons. So I know I needed it, right? But those roots eventually became misaligned with my soul living at its highest frequency. And that was my wake up call. And that's what I'm trying to get you all to do. Why? Because it was too embedded in my subconscious. I didn't even know it was running the ship. Your subconscious is your captain, my friends, and you don't even know it's running your submarine. So my body retaliated for me with all these illnesses and pain and said no for me because I was a ball buster. I was badass. I am multitasker. I can do it all. And I was pretty good at it. And my body said, oh, no, Dawn. This emotion that you're avoiding so you can get out there and do it, this ain't going away. Right? So it might not be your body. Right? It might be your lovers. It might, oh, nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. It might be your kids saying, nope, not that way. That's not how we do it. There's a better way. It might be your career going, oh, that's not what I want to be. That's not where I enjoy living my life all day long for 8 hours a day. So as I grew more aware of my soul's truth, I wanted to become me. Then all of a sudden I would come up against an inner battle with my ego and my habits that weren't my best soul's expression. Okay? And thus my ego was suppressing and repressing emotions that they just want to be felt. They just wanted to be acknowledged. That's it. Not analyzed, not judged, not fixed, not avoided, just felt and let go. And as soon as I was able to acknowledge the emotion in each of these categories of my life, I finally started allowing them to surface because I wasn't attached to their meaning. I wasn't attached to the fact that it was part of the soul alignment. It wasn't part of who I am. And letting them go and allowing them just to be free from me. And then I stopped labeling and I started understanding that each of these categories is one of my personalities, which I teach in all my classes. You all have multiple personalities. Sorry to break it to you. You show up in self different than you do with money, than you do with partners. We're all different energies that we show up as that part of our life. And I show up very spiritual, very driven, very confident, very organized, the multitasking queen. Very big picture, I'm very loving. I love all people. Very Aquarian, humanitarian, right? And socially, externally, those traits rocked for others' needs. So I had to look at myself, but why was I failing in these other areas? But in relationships, those traits expressed out of me as a doormat and loaded with self-sacrifice. So I had to look at that, go, okay, those are the action, that's what's happening. But the funny part is those traits were expressions of my highest good, and I knew it. You know it. You know where you're dropping the ball. And being good at loving others doesn't mean you are skilled at loving yourself. So this whole you gotta love yourself idea is bullshit until you understand what that means. And what that means is loving your suppressed emotions enough to let them go. That's self-love. That's loving yourself enough to go, I'm going to love myself enough to not hold on to those anymore. I had to see the purity of my own avoided emotions that were holding me back from being who I was supposed to be. Right? I kept astrology. Many of you might know this, many of you don't. I kept astrology under wraps for in my career for 25 years. I used it, I just didn't share it because I was critiqued, I was criticized. You got to go back into the 90s and 2000s. None of this spiritual stuff was open yet. It was there, but not at this level. So I was criticized, I was ridiculed, I was belittled, I was made to feel embarrassed for who I was, what I thought, what I taught, my woo-woo, you're spiritual, you're weird. So of course I was holding back. Those emotions were sitting there. And then lo and behold, I had no idea that this would come back around when I was aligned with being me, teaching lighthouse astrology, right? Versus traditional astrology. And there is a difference. I still use the tools, but I want you to use them for yourself, not to predict the future. The universe was aligning me as what it has aligned me to all of you. And when you're in alignment with your health, with who you are, your health, your wealth, and love, it just shows up. Doesn't mean it goes away and you don't have to keep learning and growing, but it just shows up. And that alignment is not about your future. It's not about your crystal ball. It's not about telling you who you are from my interpretation. And more so showing you how to align with who you are so that everything flows into you. Every person, every experience, every bag of just bunches of money, healing tools, every awareness of emotion that is causing you to lack healthy love in every one of these categories. Okay, so I'm gonna share this wheel with you guys real quick. I'm just gonna put it on the screen while I keep talking because I want you to see. You've all seen this wheel before, but this is the basic, stripped down, cleanest version of an astrology wheel, the basic of what the houses mean, okay? Of what the houses represent, I should say. And when you look at this wheel, I want you to just look at it, all of you, and just go, okay, self-confidence, money, communication, home and family, mother, romance, fun would be the fifth house is kids, health, partners, business and personal, emotions, change, intimacy, faith, knowledge, beliefs, our beliefs and whatever we believe, your career, your friends, hopes, wishes, dreams in the world, how do you fit in the world, and your spiritual truth, your mental health. If you looked at one of those categories, right, you will know immediately what room in your lighthouse, you're standing in the center in the I deserve it, right? You know what room in your lighthouse, or multiple rooms that are in need of suppressed emotional release. What category represents your weakest repeating link? Because a couple of these categories I know are just breathing for you. They're easy, they're air, right? But you have to remind yourself that low frequency emotion is revealed in challenging categories. That's how you know you've got an embedded suppressed emotion. What emotions need acknowledgement on how they are limiting your growth because they're rooted in your subconscious in all of these categories, but some very deeply holding you back. And the back of your head, as I said, is driving your ship. The back of your ego, the amygdala. This is the frontal cortex, is your soul, your soul's vision, your third eye, right? So we have to understand, just consider it this way. Keep it super basic. The back of your head, your thoughts, right, is your crusty ego controlling you from a safe, unhealthy love space. The front is your soul's freedom of truth. Okay, so think of it from that perspective. So when I went through this chart with my own birth chart and I started looking at the energies I play out in each house, you don't need to have a birth chart. You can look right here and go, I know which one of those. I'm not real good at it. I avoid it. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, right? And when I did that and I aligned with my higher frequency, the higher version of me, and I vibrated out that energy, my vibration became the beacon and a lighthouse for all those seeking, right? That exact alignment for themselves as well. Like, yes, I want to know myself, Dawn. I want to be in control of me. I don't want to continually seek and wonder if I'm ever going to be able to take control of my life. And suppressed emotions are the only resistance to the thing you're struggling with. That's it. Because, my friends, I never wanted to be that teacher, that catalyst, that sage, that person who's wiser than you, because I don't know you as well as you know who you are. And that's the coolest part of this whole gig, right? I don't know you as well as you know you. And honestly, I didn't get where I was supposed to get to in my life until I finally figured that out for myself. I had to know me. Okay? I didn't, yes, I will post that wall on the Truth Tribe wall, just so you know that wheel, so you can kind of just, you can use this if you know your astrology, but you have a friend or a spouse and say, if you looked at this, which one of these do you think is your weakest spot? Do you keep repeating? That's embedded emotions, suppressed, okay? Right? And so when I figured out who I was, my friends, who I was, who I wanted to be, what, all of a sudden, what I was in conflict with, who I'd been selling myself. I've been selling these stories to myself as an option, right? That's what made it hard. Sometimes it was absolutely painful to see the emotional debris that I was avoiding because I'm like, really? That's true, but it's an emotion I didn't, and I was like, oh. And when I figured out this trick, it completely leveled the playing field. And that's when the next layer dropped into my lap, right? When I saw what I was avoiding, my own truth, the truth of who I was in conflict with the emotions, not my talents. What I wanted to create was in conflict with the emotion, not my talents. The emotion I was feeling about that person, place, thing, or experience. And the emotions I learned to shut down all my life were causing my relationship with others to drain me, feel abandoned and unwanted. Yes, these emotions were what I was accepting within myself. I was abandoning me. I was draining me. I was unwanting of myself. Yet, then I was like, why am I attracting those kind of people? Because you can't attract the frequency you're not at. So I said, okay, fine. I'm going to do this. So I said, let's release my entire life and all the repressed emotions so I can start feeling again. And guys, I'm an Aquarius. I'm a triple air sign. So it's the sign of thinking, 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 all thought, all air, intellect. So you think it was probably hard for me to feel. It was until I was like, okay, since you know this, it's time. All right. And so feeling, I had to start really tapping into feeling aligned with who I am. Why not allow every emotion to surface and stop analyzing? Simply feel it and then free yourself of it. This is my simple tool for all of you tonight that I've been using to tap back into my soul's truth. Right now, yes, I know my chart like the back of my hand. Yes, I've created courses so you can know your chart in basic to all the way advanced steps to know your chart by the back of your hand. Okay. I'm doing an advanced mastermind group. Um, you've got to be really deep diving into that course. And I'm starting it in the new year. It's taken us some time to correlate it with some other stuff. But without my chart, just this is the simple emotional hack that I used in all those categories, especially the weak ones. So I want you all to try it with me. Okay. I want you all to try this emotional hack. So what I want you to do, it's called find, feel, and free. Okay, write those words if you have a pen. Just write down find, feel, and free. Okay, three things that you're going to do all day long for probably the rest of your life. Okay, but this is going to help you. So I want you to all evaluate a physical pain in your body, right? So find some physical pain. I want you to do a scan. Okay. Gosh. Okay. So I want you to do a physical scan of your body. I want you to find some sensation in your body that you're like, huh, that kind of hurts. That's kind of tight. That's kind of irritating. That makes me anxiety. I've had anxiety, right? Whatever it is that comes up for you. And so I want you to just scan your body and all of you just go, okay, I found the physical pain. Okay, whatever that most recent pain you felt. Now, it could have been a negative thought. It can also be a negative environment, a situation, an argument, an experience, but we're just going to focus on the body right now so you can see how this works. So find the pain or the negative experience you're having. Could be extreme pain or even just simple pain. Okay. Now I want you to go to that pain and I want you to feel it. And I want you to ask it, what emotion am I feeling associated with this pain? So I want you to feel the emotion surfacing, and one's going to immediately appear. And it doesn't have to be the perfect word or the perfect emotion. And I'll open this up to Q&A if any of you want to go through this with me, okay? I want you to open up and feel the emotion. So for me, lately, a lot of guilt and anger was coming up for me, okay? And so I was like in my back and I was like, oh, okay, what is it? And it was like guilt. Oh, what am I feeling? It doesn't matter. Like I said, I was feeling guilt. I want you to feel the emotion and then I want you to repeat after me. Once you feel whatever emotion came up, then you're going to say, I release and let go of you, anger. That's it. And imagine just anger floating away because you let it go. And then you're going to repeat to yourself, I'm free to be me. Because your soul knows who you are. Your soul knows who it wants to be free to be. Your soul has an alignment of this high frequency, beautiful, badass awesomeness that you are. But the emotions are holding you back, right? That's what the emotions are doing. Okay? And so, again, find it, feel it, free it. Free you. You're going to say free me. Find it, feel it, free me. Okay? So when you feel it, I want you to ask, what emotion does it want you to acknowledge? Right? We discussed this last week in number 120. Again, it was, if you want to re-listen to last week about heaven on earth. And let that emotion surface. And why am I saying that in this feeling part? Without judging it, without reviewing it, or analyzing it, and especially fixing it. So if shame appears, right, you just say, I let go, I release and let go of shame and let it float away. I am free to be healthy me. That's it. But I'm telling you, it will be a continuous review of negative thoughts, experiences, memories that have emotional roots for you to release. You are not attracting assholes and narcissists and manipulators and dark people or angry people or sad people or depressed people. You're not attracting them if not there's not an emotional root in you that's frequency matched. It means your insecurity is matching their insecurity. It's kind of like that, okay? So the trick that I find that clients and even my own kids recently that I watch people get tripped up on is analyzing the emotion that came up. Okay. Analyzing why, who, when, and then the bigger rabbit hole is how it happened. Oh, I know where that came from. That how you might have a memory going, oh, I know why that's so deep. That was probably from when I was 12. Okay, so what? Right? The freedom comes when you let it go, right? When you scan your body, you scan your beliefs, you scan the environment, and when the negative thought appears, stop there, feel it, and then let it go. I release this, I let it go. Okay, so here's an example from one of my clients. Okay, my client Joe, I was talking to him. I changed names and faces just so you know. His name's not Joe, but we're gonna make for interest of protection. He had this irritating client, and this is what was happening. It was so deep he couldn't see past himself, right? And he had this irritating client who he had constant conflict with, except for he was a very good, like big client, right? And regarding I was like, well, what's the frustration with? He's constantly in chaos. He's completely irresponsible and spending money that he doesn't have, and then he starts like spinning it and making it our fault and blaming us, and it really irritated Joe. Yet that's his mirror in several areas of his own life. And when I said, do you exhibit those qualities of chaos and irresponsibility and spending in other areas of your life? And he was like, whoa, that's bad. And I was like, no, that is not bad. It's suppressed energy that is magnetizing your emotional match, and to release it and let it go so you no longer attract chaotic, irresponsible people or clients and align with flow and responsible experiences. That's how basic this gets. So it could be a person that is pushing your buttons and they keep doing it until you finally go, oh, it's not about his what he's doing that's irritating me. It's the emotion that came along with it. And he had this emotion of, I'm bad, I'm not enough. Like, I am such a not a good person to do that. Why would I accept that? And I was like, okay, let that emotion go. It's not true, right? I have to suffer. I have to sacrifice. I feel guilty if I don't give them what they want. It all comes from fear, guilt, shame, resentment. All that stuff has to come up. So again, you could say, it's just pissing me off. That's the emotion. Let it go. I don't care what word. You don't need to get so savvy about, oh, I have the perfect emotions. Your body will tell you, right? He needed to fix himself to analyze. He doesn't need to fix it. He doesn't need to change it. He just needed to feel it and felt free to be himself. If not, you're going to notice if it's deep. Okay. Some of you have some very deep childhood wounds, childhood karma, childhood wounding, and you've suppressed it. Suppression is when you don't remember it and you keep it down so low so you never have to visit it again. And repression is when you know you're doing it, but you're like, yeah, no, not going there, and keeping that door shut. Okay. So if that emotion is the same, right? A lot of, like I said, anger and guilt for me kept coming up on my back, and the back would go away and then better, away and better. If it keeps reappearing, it's just layers of it that needs to resurface. Okay. So someone says, can the same pain reveal more than one emotion? Absolutely. And what I want to share with you, this is what I just shared with you. I'm going to bring it up again. This is a 5-second activity. Breathe into it. Find it. Oh, shoulder. Oh, there's pain in my shoulder. Feel it. What emotion is appearing? What emotion are you telling me? Oh, oh, despair and weight. Oh, exhaustion. Huh. I let go and release despair and exhaustion. Huh. Okay, I'm free to be me again. It might come back up again. And it says sadness and abandonment, or, it could be anything. It could be pride, whatever it is. Let it go. It doesn't matter what it is. I just want you to find it, feel it, and let it go. I want you guys to comment in the chat. You can even comment in the YouTube chat and or Zoom. Those of you who found a pain point, you felt the emotion it wanted, and you let it go. And now if you're moving that part of your body around, you feel a little bit of relief. I want you to keep doing it. Even as I'm talking, I want you to keep doing it. Huh, is it still there? And keep telling it. What emotion are you telling me now? Okay, like someone just mentioned, can it be more than one emotion? Absolutely. But you must choose the intention of aligning yourself with healthy versions of the relationships in all 12 categories of your life. So I'm I feel free. I want you to be like, I want to feel free. Here's the categories I just pulled up for you on the wheel. To feel confident. I am free to receive value and income. I'm free to communicate my truth of myself, not tell other people how to be. I'm free to be me. Feel safe and secure in my home, in my body's home. I feel free to receive love and give it. This is about alignment with you, and then everything else works out. People are like, I gotta figure out a new way to be in a relationship. I gotta get divorced. I gotta get remarried. I gotta have a kid. I don't need a kid. Oh, the kids are terrible. Oh, the kid, my work, literally we're in chaos. And I'm like, no wonder we're miserable because we have no idea. We're out there so much, we don't even know who we are. This requires you to stay in your lighthouse and continue repeatedly to bubble up rooted emotions that are blocking your path. Okay, and allowing them to surface as energy that you chose to be free. Because if you're in alignment with high frequency energy, these emotions are going to come up going, we don't fit in this body anymore. Right? It's no longer, you have to get really important that you understand this. It's not a long forever fix. It's centering into your soul's truth now, always right now, my friends. Your ego will fight you to stay negative. It's going to fight you because it wants to turn your head and drive the ship over here to someone who's negative because that's what we know and that's easier. I would rather do over there. That's what we know. And you're going to bring it in here. Go, that's a negative thought. I don't want to be like, I don't want to hang out with those people. I don't have that pain anymore. Bring it to the front. Be aware of it and watch what happens. No explaining, no teaching people, telling what's wrong with them, no judging your spouse, your friends, your family, etc. That represent that category of your chart. Your relationships are just revealing your internal emotional reality. I am free to be me in my desire to feel love, express my talents, choose my best self that will align with others as the energy transfer and magnetize it to you. But that's the fascinating part is our bodies are telling us in pain or our anger or arguments or despair is telling us, I don't like that. And we're holding on to that instead of the emotion. Once you release it, things just flow in. Okay? So there's a few questions coming in. I will answer them absolutely. And feel free to keep putting them in the chat if you want to bring up, find it, feel it, and free it, and I will go through that with you. I'm even happy to bring any of you on the call, even just your voice if you want to ask questions about it. And I'm happy to tap into any aspect of pain and show you how fast this works. But you have to keep doing it. Okay. So tonight I'm going to tap real quick into the planetary update. We're doing it real quickly, but next week I will not be here. And so I want to make sure I'm off next week. I'm traveling. Why are we discussing emotions so deeply? Why? Get ready, my friends. The moon. There is a new moon in Cancer on June 25th, which is next week. I want to say Wednesday, but I could be off on a day, Tuesday, or I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. Okay. In 1 week. So if you're feeling moody, a lot of moodiness, emotions coming up, this is why. New moons are new beginnings, and Cancer rules emotion. It rules home, security, mothering, safety, family. Okay. And so the high frequency of this new moon that's coming in, we always feel it several days beforehand. And so if you're going to go high frequency, it's going to say, hey, soft soul, you have soft emotions. You have emotions. It's me, moon. I'm the moon, your emotional support, new moon. Here I am helping you. I'm here to help you feel everything deeply. And I'm trying to give you a tool so you don't hang on to them or analyze them or detail them. I just want you to let them go because the moon's like, yay! Home, heart, healing, mothering, family. And it's about you, your home, your healing, your mothering, okay? If that's the holy trinity of the moon that it's preaching, it's time to gather your soul family, soak in your sacred self, start nurturing your next level dreams. This is your fresh start moment, my friends. and it's time to cozy up to your intuition. You all heard right away what you felt. And let those watery emotional waves of clarity guide your next move from here and not here. Because the universe is sliding you the blueprint. Don't sleep on this one. Jupiter, the planet of good luck and expansion, just moved last week into the sign of Cancer for a year, expanding and it's expanding all of our energy wherever Jupiter or Cancer is in your chart. What we feel in our security soul, where we feel free. Jupiter rules freedom, soul, emotions. Okay, so what person, place, experience makes me feel at home in myself? Okay, so now low frequency, you have to watch yourself because this is what could tap in from your ego running the ship instead of your soul running the ship, your alignment. You could totally get like ghost your feelings, ignore them, invalidate yourself, numb it out with snacks and Netflix and blame Mercury, also in Cancer, who wants to analyze everything, all the emotions, probably causing you more moody messes again. So do you see what's happening here? Why I'm trying to get you to use a simple tool, because you're going to be allowing yourself then to let toxic people crash on your couch rent free, loading, unloading all their emotional debris onto you. And that's cool if you like emotional Groundhog Day. Just know if you ignore this moon, right, it's going to crank up the volume until you all of a sudden can't take it anymore. You're like, what is wrong with me? All these things are happening. And all of a sudden you're in Whole Foods crying in aisle 5, like, oh, this isn't right. And you realize your emotions are needing your attention, not your food or your experiences. That's what's going to happen. So it says it's time to nurture your soul, and it starts with your emotions. Okay, so home, your home is where you feel safe and where you grow. Okay, feelings sacred, they're just emotional detox, so keep letting them go. Your future is so fertile with this moon because the Cancer is the sign that sits at the base of a birth chart. It's where if we plant it there, everything grows back up out of it. If it's not supportive, snip it. Guilt free. There's the emotion. I have no guilt. Oh, I feel guilt. Let it go. The moon isn't messing around. So she's here to remind you you're the architect of your peace. So stop decorating your life with chaos. Okay? So there's your little reminder for what's going to keep building up in the next week. New moons are good. They're new beginnings. So here we are. Find it, feel it, and free it. Okay? Everybody tap in here really quick into your nervous system, your thymus. This is your thymus, where your nervous system sits. We're going to wake up our immunity. Repeat after me. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Tap in. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. Okay. I'm going to open up Q&A. Who can share a negative pain physically or externally that you can feel the emotion behind it? Okay. And then I'm going to tap in here. Let's see what some of these questions are coming in. Right shoulder, deep under the blade. I'm feeling sadness, abandonment, and exhausted. Awesome. Now I just want you to say, I let you go, sadness. I'm letting you go, abandon. I literally want you to see the word floating away from you. Abandonment, exhaustion. Someone just said, this is a cool comment, sort of like quantum somatics. I'm sure it sounds, I don't know a lot about this, quantum somatics. It's what you call it, but it actually sounds right in alignment. Really what happens, what she's saying is the quantum field, we talk a lot about the quantum field on this class. The quantum field is your torus field, which connects basically like longitude, latitude lines out into infinite galaxies, infinite universe. And because of that, if you're connected to everything, right, you also are connected to emotional, energetic debris. If it's locked in here, you can't flow into the everything of you, which is the amazing part of you. So if there's more you want to share in that, I would love to hear. Hips. What are the hips telling you about your emotions? I love that. My hips hurt. Tell me, I found the pain. Now what emotion is your hip telling you? I don't know if there's such already, but what you're saying and doing is what I call that. I love it. It's actually a really good call. Like I love the wording. It's something I would love to use for it. Use it for yourself and say what you do every day. I'm going to do quantum somatics and I'm going to purge and allow all of my emotions to surface and let them go and release them. Diana, if you get an emotion, I want you to tell me what emotion is coming up from your hips. What emotion screams at you right away when you feel the pain? That I would love to know. Someone's telling me their hips. Sad. Okay. Repeat after me. I let go and release sadness. And every time, rescan your hips, and the sadness, the pain should start dissolving a little bit. If you feel it again, you say, I let go and release sadness. Now, those of you, I'm going to give you a little backdoor 411. Sometimes when we're in resistance because we've been suppressed for so long and it sort of goes away, but it keeps coming back, I want you to ask yourself this question. Am I resisting letting this emotion go? Okay. Am I resisting letting this emotion go? And if you feel like it's a yes, then you say, am I ready to release my resistance to this emotion? And you'll feel lighter already. Yes, you're resisting letting it go. Okay. So now I want you to say, are you telling me yes that you feel better, or yes, you're resisting? I'm getting like multiple here. I'm getting multiple people coming in. So, oh, there's resistance. Okay, so now I'm going to repeat after me. I'm gonna muscle test you, Diana. Am I resisting releasing and letting go of sadness? You are. Now I want you to say to yourself out loud, am I ready to release my resistance to this emotion, sadness? You are. Now I want you to scan it again and say, okay, I now am ready. I release and let go of sadness. Very good. Okay. By the way, let's see, if people need help or clues to identify Google. Yeah, Google will tell you, here's a good point that Mary, thank you for sharing all this. So Mary's making a point here, and I'm glad she brought this up because this is where I'm gonna cut you off. She's like, if you need help or clues to identify the spiritual meaning of the pain in the right hip, it will tell you what shows up here. I agree with her. I have an actual Louise Hay dictionary from A to Z telling me emotionally what that pain means. And what I'm going to do is tell you all, no, 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 not now. If you can dive in like someone like that who has a lot of spiritual and energetic understanding of things and you don't attach to the meaning, that's okay. So right now, the less analyzing, the less understanding, the less who did it, where you got it, how it happened, how deep it is, the easier it is for you to just say, I don't need to know why this emotion is attached. I'm feeling this emotion according to this pain. I just need to know I'm ready to release the emotion. So I'm trying to help you all understand the emotions are the most vital aspect of this whole experience. And yes, keep it simple. Thank you. It's so vitally important you stop analyzing what's wrong with you, because the second we start going, oh, it's because of this, I know it's because of. I know every body part holds all these different things. And when they get angry, they hurt because you're holding anger in your liver and resentment in your gallbladder and whatever, right? This is where we have to tap back into ourselves and go, wait a minute, we're divine conscious beings. We have divine God consciousness running through every cell of our body. And we're just not activating the high cells. Why? Because we are shackled to these heavy emotions. Period. That's all this is. So I'm begging all of you, I'm imploring all of you for the next several weeks through this new moon, which it's empowering all of you to feel. Don't try to analyze the feelings. And again, I love someone brought up earlier. What if a pain comes up, but a different emotion keeps surfacing from it? That's beautiful. Just keep letting whatever comes up and say, I release you and let you go. Oh, you see it floating away. I'm free to be me. Free to be brings you back in here in center alignment. Okay. Okay, I have a couple more coming in here. It says, so my physical pain is rooted in my emotions. Yes, your emotional avoidance is what it's rooted in. Okay, because that emotion was never processed. And because it was never processed, you have suppressed it. So it doesn't need to be felt again because you ain't going there again, right? But feeling it and releasing it from your energy field releases the energy the body is holding to, it's trying to get your attention. That's all it's doing. It's saying, alarm, 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 pay attention to me. Really doesn't matter what part of your body is saying it. Just please love me. Okay? And so it's your alarm clock, my friends. That's all it is. Your pain, whether it's an argument or an experience or a pain in your body, your pain in your body is alarming you to an emotional debris that wants to be cleared. But once it's doing that, please give it attention. Love it. Give it that love. Okay? Someone says, is it really that easy to just heal pain with letting go? Yes, it is that simple, but it is not that easy. Why? Because it, as someone kept saying earlier, it keeps surfacing. And if it keeps surfacing, it's many layers of emotional suppression. We don't realize, I'm over 50 and for 40 some plus years, I'm sure there's emotions deep down in there. When they come up, I'm like, okay, cool. See ya. Right? So repetition and discipline to find it, feel it, and free. Scan the pain, feel the emotion, and then free to align back in the center of your soul. Right? And so that's a big deal because people are like, really, is that easy? I just showed you with one shoulder. Jamie, did you notice any difference in your shoulder when you scanned and released those? Or did you have to do it multiple times? Do you feel any difference just from that now in the last 10 minutes? Just a quick Q&A. Someone says you also have to want to let that negative emotion go. You don't have to want to. You have to want to. You don't have to want this, my friends. This is what I'm sharing with you. This sounds so, she brought up quantum, and this is very quantum based. We're already in the quantum field. We've moved to a quantum reality. You all are like, when are we moving to New Earth? We're there. There is no going here or there. You are the quantum. So my point is things are easier and faster. So you don't have to want to. You have to actually command it. What pain do I have? What pain is it? Not the pain. I don't care about the pains anymore. I want you to feel the emotion, and that's what you're going to let go. Now, you may not think you don't want it and you're resisting it, but if you're resisting it, you have to say, am I ready to release my resistance? That's the release. That's the command of letting it go. A non-believer that pain could be released that easily would struggle. No, not when you keep asking them to do it. When you just talk to someone and say, okay, well, what emotion do you feel? Just say, let it go. Say, I let that go. Do it again. Do it again. And then ask them, well, move it around. How does it feel? And they'll probably notice the difference. I feel better. I did say it a couple of times, each emotion. Perfect. And Jamie, it might come up again. And if it comes up again, you do it again until all of a sudden one day it's going to be a week and then a month. And then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't have shoulder pain anymore because you loved you enough to do self-reflection to allow the emotions out instead of pushing them back in. That's the beauty. Okay, when someone just says, I'm going to finish this last question here coming in. These are great questions, my friends. A yes will do it. It's time to get over it and be free. Yes, it is. This says, what about our spouse? Let's see. What about our spouse and if it's their emotional debris? Okay. It's always you, my friends. It's all about you. It's always about you shifting your energy, and that's what you're going to align with. Okay. So the spouse, my friends, is the best way to free yourself when it's someone close. Because externally are like, it wasn't my fault. Oh, they were a stranger. Oh, they're just a, neighbor or whatever. You don't take it so serious. It still counts. So we're so attached to not hurting our spouse, not instigating them, not wanting them to abandon us if we don't accept their negativity. So if you can simply love them where they are and know that's what they need, and you know what they brought to you is so you can release your own emotional boulders, they will be less likely to be attracted to that part of you as well once you've released and you don't feel it anymore. They won't bother you anymore, right? They will just start showing up as your high frequency. That's how you start showing up, not as your low frequency, because they won't align with it. There won't be the plug-in anymore, okay? And if they can't align with the true you, it's best for you to know without trying to fix them. That's what true love is. Stop trying to fix people, change them, tell them what they need to be for you. Just be it. You're just being you. Most of the time, this activity, when you just stop critiquing, fixing, trying to tell them how to be, and you just start being you, letting that stuff go, being resentful of them, being angry with them, what they are doing, causing you pain, and you just step back into you, all of a sudden stuff starts happening and magic starts opening up. You're single, all of a sudden you just start attracting wonderful relationships. The whole dating thing, you just find them at a coffee shop and bump into them, they pour coffee on you and you're like best friends for life. That's how it works. And this works a lot, but I'm just keeping it simple because right now we're in a lot of emotional numbing and um, poverty that I've ever seen. This emotional poverty, we're so afraid to feel the bad stuff. And I'm telling you, don't feel it to hold on to it, analyze it, keep it. Just, we don't want to have that anymore. Let it out. You've got this. It's amazing and it's possible. Very simply, find it, feel it, and be free to be me. Back into alignment. That's how basic this is. Now, if you have your chart, you can go look at your chart and see the energy of each sign that's representing, that rules each of your houses, and see the high-low frequency. Like I said, you can see a lot of this in the DMT method. Or if, like I said, if you're in the I Deserve It membership, you get all the classes, and I would take them in succession, and they start breaking down how you show up in each of these categories of your life. And it's the deepest level of self-reflection. But when you can get to this level of everything that appears for you that irritates you is so you can release an emotion. That's simple. It's pretty basic. Okay? All right, my guys, remember, my friends, Truth Tribe is an open discussion growth for quantum, spiritual, truth to your health, wealth, and love, because they all count according to all aspects of your life in every relationship. You're not just here for this, but you're here to share with others. So remember to like and share and invite a friend to the next Truth Tribe, or you can share the replays in YouTube and Spotify. Remember, you can use any of the mantras I've shared in all the past. They're all on your IDI Club wall, the Truth Tribe wall, or the Facebook wall. Remember, if you're new and you're like, I want some of these classes, I really want to investigate myself, I want to start basic and go advanced, go get the I Deserve It membership, and you get everything in that in my teachings. Everything I've made, you get it, okay? It's on ideserveitnow.com on my website. If you're listening to this after this live session, all the links will be below in YouTube and Spotify. The links will always be in the notes. As always, I will not be here next week. I will send you a cancellation reminder so you're not waiting for me. And then I'm going to make something juicy and fun the following week. Okay. Feel free to comment in those walls if there's something coming up and you're like, can you comment on this? Or can you make a discussion of this in Truth Tribe? Absolutely. Just let me know. Okay. As always, find me if you have questions. You know how to find me. See you all soon. I love you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Brightest blessings.